TV. Gang. So today, as you can see, we need to finish. You see where that paper at? This is the rest of where we have to go. We need to finish this book like we finished Game Over. We need to finish this book, y'all. We need to finish this book. Let's get right into it. Okay. Hold up. Let's give a. We need to finish this book. Okay, y'all. Shit, hold on. Come on. Fuck it. Alright, y'all. I'm y'all teacher today. Y'all reading to y'all. Hell, every time I go live and read to y'all, I'm y'all teacher. So I make it fun. Well, we try to, because I'm goofy as hell already, naturally. Right. But yeah. Make sure when you stopping by, you leave a like if you like my goofy ass. And we laughing at my damn self all the damn time. And if you like a big Aquarius, let's get it. And let's go. We're real trying to find videos to do. My fucking finger, I don't know what's going on with it, but it's been itching lately. And now we're probably doing something weird. But like, okay. So y'all, let's get it. Where we left off at. Alright. Family history. The greats are divided on werewolf origins. Grandmother says it goes back to the beginnings of humans. We evolved from wolves, they evolved from monkeys. So why don't humans turn into monkeys once a month? Grandmother has no answer to that because you can't. You can't. It's not like what? Okay. All right. Great. Aunt Dorothy tells about a deal made between a man and a wolf way back in the early days. They were escaping a predator bigger than either one of them. They both ran for a narrow cave opening. There wasn't enough room for both of them, so they fought. The predator came closer. Proposed that, the wolf proposed they share the space. He cut his belly open and told the man to crawl inside. Then the wolf wedged his way into the cave. But when it come time to separate, they couldn't. Damn. That sound like a spell. Like, damn, the wolf told so y'all both couldn't fit in the cage. And then the wolf like, okay, come on, get inside like a coat. Like, come on, get up in here like a coat and close back up. We gonna fit up in this cage. And then once it was time to leave, once it was time to separate, it's like the spell just like you together. Like it's just like it's not like, hey, y'all ain't gonna be able to separate now. Cause you shouldn't have got up in that wolf. Even the no pause. Pause. Anyway. Alright, y'all. Okay, where was that? That was not a little separate door. they were bound to each other. A mannish wolf, a wolfish man. Dad said his grandfather told him that there was no cutting involved and that it was a woman, not a man. Wolf, the wolf and the woman had together trying to get the cave that we molded into each other so that you couldn't see where the wolf began and the woman ended. Crazy. Great aunt great aunt laughed at that one. Yeah, great aunt laughed at that one. She said that she said that's no she said that's not how she heard her daddy tell it. The woman and the wolf fell in love, lay together, and babies. The other story grandmother told was that the Wilkins had made a pack of wolves way, way, way back before countries had names. When people when people lived in tribes, a king out and existing, moving from spot to spot. The pack, what the I guess the pack was was too key from moving to stay in the one spot, safe and sound even in the winter. The Wilkins would share food with the wolves. The wolves would fight their enemies. The Wilkins were able to shift from hunting and gathering to planting and harvesting. Raising goats and pigs and grains and vegetables. They fed, yeah, they fed the wolves. The wolves defended them. They lived so close together that it wasn't many seasons before the human tribe and the wolf pack were indistinguishable. Not too many years before they were all part wolf and part human. They're interesting. They're interesting tales through a doubt. They're true. Here's what I think. Hold up. Yeah, here's what I think. Horizontal gene transfer. You have you have brown eyes and the ability to curl your tongue, and your kids have brown eyes and can curl their tongues. That's because you passed on those genes, which is the regular way genes get passed on. Vertical vertical gene transfer, but genes can also be transferred horizontally from one orgasm to another. But I mean, it's it's called HGT. I know there's no document case on HGT happening between big big orgasms. Humans and wolves are big, which which I mean shit. Humans and wolves are big, each with at least 23,000 different genes, way bigger than it can. Hold up, way bigger, way bigger than bacteria and viruses, who can have as few as eight. But if it can, if it can happen between bacteria, why can't it happen? Hold up. Why can't it happen between bigger organisms? If a if a tomato can have fruit fly genes in it, or more relevant, since humans put the fruit fly in the fruit, if cows can, what, if cows can acquire a gene from a planet to help their digestion, then why can't wolves and humans do the same? Though I'm not talking I'm not talking the one gene. I'm talking many. There be the gene or genes in parentheses that makes the change possible. A gene no one's ever heard of, let alone mapped. Then there's all the wolf genes that express when I'm wolf, and human genes for when I'm human. Not to mention why. Could it be a means to preserve genes, wolf genes that were approaching extinction? That would explain the Canis Dirus werewolves, increasingly the Canis lupus ones too. Though when the first werewolves emerged, gray wolves were everywhere. There are other humans of there are other human shit. There are other animals of roughly human size that have gone extinct. Are there were saber teeth tigers? I would love to map my own DNA. What would it show? Humans have 85% the same DNA as wolves. Do Oh yeah, what do I have? 95%, 99, or or do I have the same 85% as everyone else? Along fucking finger. Along with hidden werewolf DNA. When I'm a scientist, a biologist who specializes in wolves, I'll find out. I'll map my own DNA secretly. I'll prove that it is a HGT that we were made by a horizontal transfer of genes a few million years ago, unless it was a virus, something that attacked an ancestor's DNA and caused massive mutations, resulting and unstable genes that express both as wolf and as human. There's so much I don't know and that I can't ask Yaiko without making her eyebrows go sky high. Why am I Canis lupus? While most werewolves are Canis dirus. Is that even true? How do I find other people like me? Does that mean there are two kinds of werewolves? Pretty much. Or are there more? Are there African werewolves who are canis what? Canis semensis? Canis the soul, yeah, the soul African wolf, or a Canis rufus, where why is all these canis and this and that and that? Sorry. Or Canis rufus werewolves, or are there both too small? There are many um recognized where there are many recognized wolf species. Are there werewolves for each one? I mean, I say each one. I meant everyone. Are there werewolves for everyone, or only the ones that are roughly human sized? I don't know where I come from or what I am. I don't know how I am. I don't know anything before. The real change came on me, but this time I ignored them. I did not I did not want to sit in that cage waiting, getting filthier and more more wound up and miserable by the hour. The first sign was a tightening of the skin as I walked to school. It felt itchy it felt itchy. Ugh. It felt itchy in the exact same way it had with the false alarm. I kept walking. It didn't feel so bad. At recess, there was a tiny bit of blood spotting same as last time. I figured I figured that even if the change was real, I still had plenty of time to get through the school day and then walk home. Like before, I didn't feel hot, my teeth didn't hurt. It was in math class, second to last class of the day. We were learning number puzzles. We had to draw three shapes, but make sure they were all touching. Then four, then five. Five was impossible. I was trying to make it work when the first wave of heat hit me. Then more itching. Then sharp pains in my belly, dots in front of my eyes. My head began to throb. The teeth, my teeth hurt. Inside, inside me, things were moving. I knew what it was. I had to get home. I stood up. Makai, sit down, the teacher said. Without looking at me, I fell down. I didn't mean to. but the muscles turned to liquid in my legs. At least it felt that way. But when I looked down, I looked like they looked like human legs. Are you all right, Makai? The teacher was staring at me. No, I said, amazed that my tongue and mouth were cooperating. I tried to stand up, clutching the desk for support. My bones were turning into knives. It's my illness. I had a fly. I mean, I had a foul. My bad. I read it wrong. I had a foul. The note about my illness was in the file. All the teachers knew about it. I had to call my dad. I think that's what I said, but the next thing I knew, my body was buckling. It felt as if the spine was coming out of my back. I have to go. Call my dad. He knows. I have no idea if the words came out or not. Oh, I have no idea if the words came out or not. I reached for my bag while crawling to the door, groped into for the cell phone. The pain was spreading all over my body. I was sure I would die. Somehow I got out of the classroom. Somehow I got the phone into my hands, pressed for dad, screamed for him to come get me, told him I would be getting home as fast as I could. The school was only 5 blocks from home, one avenue, 4 streets. Running, running was faster. Ordinarily, I would be home in minutes, but liquid muscles, moving bones, pain in every fiber, every cell. I kept moving toward the exit, down few steps, out onto the street. I didn't know if I was going to make it, if I was going to turn into a wolf on First Avenue in the daylight of a busy Thursday afternoon. The teacher was still hovering. I think, had she followed me? Maybe it was someone else, more than one. My eyes weren't processing right. There were less colors. I saw red, I saw yellow, and mostly red. But I knew which way to go, down, south, west. I kept moving. There were they were calling my name. I concentrated on breathing, willing willing the change to slow, for the one foot after the other to turn into a run. I think I progressed to a shuffle. I don't know how many blocks I got before Dad grabbed me, pulling me aside. Pulling me along. My bad. I heard shouting and questions. I squeezed my eyes shut. By the time Dad pushed me into the elevator, there was there was fur all over my arms and I was bent double. I could smell the fear and sweat of my father. Oh, I mean, I could smell the fear and sweat of my father, or was that me? I'd never been in so much pain. I was going back into the cage. I wasn't sure which was worse. As dad dragged me into the apartment, into my room, into the cage, the bones were trying to push through way out of my face. I could I could no longer see or hear. My eyeballs and eardrums did uh, my eyeballs and eardrums had exploded. Then I was a wolf in a 3 by 6 cage and hungrier than I ever have been. I mean, hungrier than I have ever been in my life. Dad told me afterward that I howled for 20 for 20 minutes straight. He lied to the neighbors to keep them from calling the police. What ignited after my first change? I'd always been interested. By now it was a possession. I'd always been interested. By now it was a passion. No, it was a necessity. I had to know what I was, how I was. I had to learn more. How was it possible? How did mass reshape itself like that? I was a 105 pound, 20, I mean, I was I was 105 pound 12-year old. I became a 105 pound wolf. It made sense when I thought of the conversation. I mean, it made sense when I thought of the conservation of matter, equal equal weight, both both mammals, both warm blood, yeah, both warm blooded. It would be much weirder if I were to turn into a snake, go from warm blooded to cold, from human to python, or what if I changed into a slug? No blood, no bones, no slug has weighed even close to 100 pounds. Human to wolf, matter is conserved. But how do I change? How does the head come and go? Bones shift and grow and shrink. How can I be a wolf and a human? When I change back, am I the same human I was? Is it the same skin, the same cell, or am I recreated each time? A new wolf, a new human? If so, why do my memories not change? Or do they? And I hold up. Or do they and I just don't know it? Who am I? What am I? To understand, I was sure, I am sure, I had to learn how humans function, how we observe and and what happens when we breathe, what we are made of, genes, DNA, had to learn the same about wolves. I have to understand how I am in order to understand what I am. I know so little, I don't know if I'll ever know enough. I can say werewolf, but I don't know what that means. Not below the surface of my skin, of my hide. I've asked grandmother, aunt, great aunt Dorothy. They have a few answers, but not enough. Most of the time, they don't know. I mean, most of the time, they don't even understand my questions. I asked grandmother why she tried to breed the werewolf out of her children. She denied it. But your story, I asked, about finding someone who wasn't a werewolf to have a baby with, about marrying out so you could get the family illness. Grandmother cluck. Anyway, that was a short. I mean, shit. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, there was a there was a story for your father. I mean, that was a story for your father. I'm proud of the wolf in you. I mean, I skipped the line. I skipped a couple words. Sorry, y'all. I'm proud of the wolf in me, in you. I would never try to kill it. Why do you think I work so hard to keep this place the way it is? To make it bigger? Why do you think I have you here? Then why? I began. Who, I mean, who was my grandfather? You won't tell me. You won't tell your father. You won't tell your father. I thought of all the lies he told me, everything he kept hidden. No, I promise I won't tell him. I thought of the lies grandmother had told me. I could break my promise. My, hmm, sorry, my fingers like bothering me. Trying to ignore it. Um, um, Your father's not a wolf. He doesn't understand. For a second, her eyes seemed yellow. Your grandfather was a local boy. Never saw him more than once or twice. He wrote me letters I never answered. That was that. Is he still alive? My grandfather? Grandmother didn't answer at first. Looking at her bony hands, her skirt, her scarred knuckles, He's long gone. History of me. Grandmother said that taking the pill to stop the change was an abomination. That we were killing an essential part of me. That we that we kept the wolf in me down. It would eat away at the human. It was too dangerous. I could explode. I would explode. Every I mean, I would explode. Her arguments were not rational. Grandmother says it gets easier. That putting it off only makes the next change that only makes the next change worse. I didn't care. I would not live on the farm, not for even not for more than the summer. I could not be a wolf in a cage, even if it was possible, which it wasn't. The neighbors might have had the neighbors might not have called the police that first time, but it was unlikely they'd refrain twice. What would happen when the cops found a wolf in a cage? It's not legal to keep a wolf as a pet in New York City. What what if they came and it was human, me in the cage waiting to change? What if they saw me change? Never again, Dad decided. Never again would he deal with me changing in the city. They decided to send me to the farm forever, living without electricity, without hot water, without my parents, without anything I cared about, with my grandmother, my great aunt Dorothy, my aunts and uncles and cousins who would barely read or write. Who could barely read or write, let alone do calculus or treat or trigonometry. I was bad at all that shit. My, y'all, when I was in school, math was my worst fucking subject. But luckily, I passed that shit because I was getting help. But when I had to do that shit on my own, that shit was hard as well. I was terrible at math. But I love money. I know how to count money, baby. I know how to count money, baby. Anyway, who know as little about fast twitch muscles or what mitochondria, what mitochondrial, I don't know, DNA, as they know about how to catch a cab or how to order a pizza. No college, no future, no life. I would never unlock. Excuse me. I keep tasting cucumber or something. I would never. I would never unlock werewolf DNA. I would never understand what I am. I would rather die. I cried for 2 days straight while mom and dad told me in return in turns why I'm living in the city was impossible. I would not listen. There had to be another way. Dad found it. He learned that the pill can be used to suppress menstruation, menstruation, yeah, menstruation. Oh, I'm saying that right. He figured it would stop me turning into a wolf too. It did. It does. But the first time we tried it was on the farm where it wouldn't matter if it went wrong. I refused to go up unless they promised I'd get to go home no matter what happened. They promised, but I'm not sure what would have happened if it hadn't worked. It wasn't as if Dad had never broken a promise to me before. My hopes were pinned on Mom. Let I mean, my hopes were pinned on Mom. If she let me down, then I was going to run all the way back to the city. I would, ru- I would not stay on the farm. Didn't come to that because it worked. I didn't bleed. I didn't turn into a wolf. I can keep wolf inside one pill a day. My life wasn't over, though grandmother kept telling me that it should be about the terrible mistake I was making. Dad was dad was making that this would rebound on me 100-fold. She calmed me a bit. She calmed down a bit when we agreed to my returning each summer, not taking the pill, being a wolf, running wild. It makes her and Healer happy. I can give away 3 months of my life each year for their sake. History of me. Grandmother is right. When I when I am a wolf, I cannot be in the city. When I change that first time, the pain of the change was worse than anything I'd ever experienced. The greats had talked about the pain, but they hadn't explained that changing back would be as bad. Wolf to human, curled wolf nails, retrate, retracting into flesh. Everything is reversed, but every bit has. I mean, every every bit as searing, bone breaking, cell crushing. There is nothing of a human that is the same size as that of a wolf. Not our lungs, our toes, our livers, our teeth, even not even the shafts of our hair. Nothing is the same. All of it has to change. Nothing from one to the other, and back is the worst pain I have ever experienced. And yet, being trapped in that tiny cage, I thought I would lose my mind. I could not run, I could not even pace. There was no hunt, no play, no running. The smells were metallic, uh, metallic. Yeah, the smells were metallic and dusty and human, but what I heard was worse. Machine hums and rattles and beeps, electricity and everything, loud thuds and thrum, squeaks and squeals from the street below. The noise was unenduring, unendurable. The wolf me wanted to run, had to run, couldn't. Yeah, had to run, couldn't run, couldn't close my ears either. I was un I was unjointed, jangled. This discombobulated cage. In that cage, and the wolf would go insane. I was more than glancing. Yeah, I was more than glancing at the forest. I longed for it with every cell. I could not be a wolf in the city, but I could not be a human on the farm. History of me. That's not entirely true. You're shocked, I can tell. I don't spread I don't spend summers upstate solely to make my grandmother happy. I hate being on the farm when I'm human, but I love it when I'm a wolf. There is nothing better. Happiness is flat out full of happiness is flat out full bore wolf speed. The taste of raw deer that I killed myself, the ease of sleeping, the ease of sleeping, of waking, of being, hanging out with great uncle Hiller. The first summer I was there, after the change was yeah, the first summer I was there after the change was the first time I was a human without a cage. My second time as a wolf, I loved it. No, that's too weak a word. I adored, worshipped it. After I changed, after the blood and hair and teeth of me shifted, after the pain, my universe expanded, my hearing surged, surged. Wolfish me can hear everything. The fainting, the faintest movement of rabbit, um, fox, deer, even rays of sun hitting the ground. Good sounds because there's no electricity on the farm. There are no buzzes and clicks to make my fur stand on end. I ran. When I run as a human, I'm fast, but it's the faintest echo of how it is when I'm human. I mean, shit, when I am wolf, sorry. Hitler knocked me over, nipped me, butted me with his head, showed me how to run like a wolf, taught me how to hunt. Wolf life is cleaner, safer, happier. When I want to play, I play, sleep, I sleep. There's no anguish or hesitation or doubt or anxiety or madness. Turning human the world. And my perceptions dull. For a human, my senses are sharp, but I don't smell or hear anywhere close to how I do in my wolfishness. When I'm human, my head is hammered with dark thoughts and confusion. When I'm the wolf, I don't remember much of the human, but sometimes when I am human, all I can remember is the wolf. I want to throw the pills in the trash, flush them down the toilet, never take one of those tiny pills again. I want to run wild. I want falcons above, rocks, dirt, plants, and what? Mulch beneath my paws, trees all around. Drink from a stream, eat what I kill. Wolfkin makes sense. Human, not as much. Family history. There's one other thing that can really bring on the change going into heat, rutting. That's why I'm not allowed to have a boyfriend. Why my parents grounded me when they found out about Zach. They don't want me to run any risk of changing in the city, even so unlikely a risk as to be avoided, even if the what precedent is raw. Is rare and disputed. Okay. Uh, Great Aunt Dorothy remembers remembers it happened. Grandmother says it's horse. Grandmother says it's horseshit. Great aunt also says that the same wolf who changed when he went into heat also changed at the smell of blood, not menstrual blood, any blood, as well as at the scent of prey. In fact, the reek of fear, even anxiety, set him off, whether it came from prey or not. So many things triggered change in him that by the time he was 25, he had become a wolf permanently. I am not like that. My dad listened to all their tales, but the only thing he took away was that I mu- only thing he took away was that I must not ever have sex. My parents did not notice that blood does not set me off, pray neither, and the scent of fear, of anxiety, the rooms and halls of my school, what, exud, exuded? I don't fucking know. How you pronounce this word? Exude. I don't fucking understand. I don't know that word. So does every street of the city. I am not like that. Listen, when they found me with Zach, they were ballistic. All right, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm hot. I'm starting to sweat. I had gotten in the shower this morning and I need to put some more deodorant on. Give me a second. Oh, my leg, and I need to stand up. Might need to stand up and read it, y'all, because my legs be cramping. I don't know. I'm getting old, y'all. Feel like old, y'all. I'm getting old, baby. I'm getting real old, y'all. No, I'm getting old, baby. My album, the dress and finish. Probably. Okay. Y'all. Alright, y'all. Sit right there. I'm gonna finish probably standing up. Okay, where was I? Okay. History of me. I have thought about not taking the pill in the city, not climbing into the cage. Yeah, into the cage. I'd like to see what happened. How would a wolf hide in the city? Where would they hide? Central Park? Too small, too overcrowded. In wood, maybe. In some ways, it would be safer than upstate. Not so many shotguns and coyote hating farmers in the city. I would love to know if it's possible. I would love to try. I imagine myself living off the ducks and turtles and rabbits in Central Park. What? What about I'm laughing at myself? I just had to truth some throw it on if y'all didn't hear that. Okay. What what about when I changed back? How would I how would I filthy, naked, most most likely covered in dried blood, make it all the way back home. Even at 4 in the morning, there are people on the streets. Would I be arrested? Probably not. I'd be confused. They'd think I'd been attacked. They'd take me to a hospital. Would my blood be tested? Would I would I be discovered, locked up, turned into an exhibit? Yeah. I can see the headlines. First First werewolf discovered, stranger than fiction, Miss Wolf. I can never I can never do it. The risk is too great. But I would like to. I think of the challenge. I think of the fun. Besides, I am so much faster than any police officer. If it wouldn't if it wouldn't, keep saying wouldn't, if it weren't, sorry, because now, fuck up. Okay, what was that? If it weren't for my parents, I would do it in a heartbeat. Before Hillard was ahead of the deer, me and Jesse flacked it. The fear it gave off was a pungent. I would have gagged. Yeah, I would have gagged if it hadn't smelled so delicious, like like swimming in chocolate. Oh my god. We'd waited out of range of the herd's eyes, ears, and noses for so long that I'd forgotten what moving was like. Hillard is strict, like I'm strict about waiting for the perfect moment, for the wind to be in the right place for us to start moving without setting the deer off, for us to be able to cut off their exits. Healthier deer can outrun us. These would very these were very healthy deer. Glossy hides. Yeah, glossy hides, sharp ears, and musky. Yeah, and musky inviting odor. I waited what sol solvate what salivating. Hunting is six is a 6/10 waiting. 6/10 waiting. That's the worst part. Then there's the 3/10 of running and only 1/10 of bringing the animal down. That's the best part. When the herd bolted, we already surrounded the slowest and older doe. Hillard went for the neck. I buried, I buried my teeth and claws in her belly. Just bit in deep. Oh, okay. Jesse bit in deep on the deer's what hindquarters. The deer went down. I clawed the belly wide open, tore at the guts. The the innards spilled out so hot they steamed, filling their filling the air with the smell of blood, gas, and um gas and what yeah, wait a minute. I'm trying to get this word because I was about to say it wrong. Like, um, what is this? Side? I don't fucking know. We we hunkered down and ate everything: eyeballs, uh, entrails, ears. When we were done, the deer was nothing but hooves, bones, fur, and stringy bits of seaweed. Sinew. I don't know. No, no curation left for the birds. I don't know if I'm saying that word. Okay, barely enough for ants and flies to nibble on. History of me. I've made wolf life sound more romantic than it is. I'm When I'm a wolf, I have ticks. Parasites suck the blood in my belly and what mitts breathe in my ears. Tapeworms come from the deer I eat. Ugh. Fluck from the fish. It's sure, shit. It's true that I hunt, that I can, and that I run, and it's true that I hunt, that I run and play. Most enjoyable, all three, except when they're not. When the prey gets away, which is most of the time, a part-time wolf is. Oh yeah, a part-time wolf is not as competent as a full-time wolf. A wolf as part-time as me, 3 or 4 times in the summer. I am the least competent wolf of all. Mostly I sleep. When I'm awake, all I want to do is scratch and eat and play and go back to sleep. When I'm a wolf, I itch, I ache, I'm hungry all the time, and if I stray too far off the farm, I get shot at. The farm is smaller to the wolf me than other than our apartment is to the human me, but both are better than time spent in a cage. Oh man, part three, the actual real truth. What the hell? History of me. Being a liar is not an easy business. For starters, being a liar is not an easy business for starters. You have to keep track of your lies. Remember exactly what you've said and who you said it to. Because that first lie always leads to a second. There's never ever just one lie. That's why it's best to keep it simple. Gives you a better chance of tracking all the threads, keeping them spinning, and hopefully not what pro propaganding to many more. It's hard work keeping all of those lies in the air. Imagine juggling 1,000 torches that are all tied together with fine thread, or running the world's most complicated machine with code on wheels on call what on cogs on wheels on call. Okay, whatever. Even with best liars, even the ones with the longest memories, the best eye for detail, and the big picture. How can people lie? I don't think I'm a good liar, so I don't think I would. I don't think I would lie. I don't think I could lie about anything. I know I'm not a good liar. Like, so, like, what? How can people lie like that? Like, and just not think about the consequences of anything, like, or whatever the case may be. Because I know I'm not a good fucking liar. I don't even. Me and my man been through a lot, and he thought I've lied about stuff, but really I don't know how to lie. So how can I how can I lie to you about something if I don't know how to lie? You think I'm lying, but I'm really telling the truth. like like it's just the way that I explain stuff. I over explain because I don't want you to be mad at me about anything, because I don't like that. Like, I don't like for my man to be mad at me about anything, because when he gets mad, oh, he gets mad, baby. He gets mad. He will ignore me for days. If I'm there in the same house with him, his ass to send me in the room and he will be mad at me for probably about 2 days. Okay, if it happens in the middle of the night, he'll ignore me for the rest of the night and tomorrow and the next day. It's like I don't like that, and I be trying to like find my way to for him to talk to me again, because it's like, what did I do? Because I didn't lie to you about anything. Because I don't know how to lie. I don't have that kind of brain. I don't know how to fucking lie about shit. So how do you think I'm lying? Just let me explain to you so you can see where I'm coming from with whatever happened. Because how can I can't lie? What? But anyway, even they get caught, they get caught eventually, maybe not in all their lies, but in one or two or more. That's the way it is. I hate when that happens, when people figure out that what they were saying wasn't true, and ele- and you elaborate construction crumbles. The lies stop spinning. There's no liberation. I don't know. Liberation. Um, Gears grind on gears. That's the moment when Sarah stared at me after I laughed and I said, "You're a girl." That moment could have lasted a week, a month, a year. I was ashamed and angry and hated being caught and already spinning more lies to explain it all all away. But it was also a relief. It's She been lying this whole fucking time about shit. I don't fucking know what's going on in this book. I'm trying to read y'all some interesting shit. Is this book interesting to y'all? Like, cause it's about a brutal murder, a secret relationship, and one shockingly good liar. Her crazy. I don't fucking know what's going on here. All right, y'all. Anyway, but it also, I mean, but yeah, but it was also a relief. It's always a relief because the air is clear now. At last, I can tell the truth from this moment on. Everything will be true. A life lived true with no rotten foundation, trust, understanding, everything shiny and new, except I can't, not ever, because the truth is so unbelievable. What did you do over the summer? Turned into a wolf, tore deer and rabbit apart. Lies will always be easier. Spin, spin, spin. I have been through the moment of being found out 100 times, 1,000 times, maybe even a million. I'm only 17, but I've already seen that a look of shock. She lied to me so many times I have lost count. It's it never gets any better. Yet that's not the worst. Yet that's not the worst danger of being a liar. Oh no, much worse than discovery, than their sense of behavioral is when you start to believe your own lies. When it all blurs together, you lose track of what's real and what's not. You start to feel as if you make the world with your words. Your lies get stranger and weirder and denser, get bigger than words, turn into worlds, become real. You feel powerful, um, invincible. Oh sure, you say, completely believe it, but completely believe in it. My family's and old family, going way back. We work we work curse magic. Me, I can make your hand wither on your arm. I could turn you into a cat. Once you start believing, you stop being compulsive and and morph into pathological. It happens a lot after something terrible has happened. The brain cracks, can't accept the truth, and and makes its own, invites a bigger and better world that explains the bad thing, makes it possible to keep living when the world you're seeing doesn't line up with the world that is. You can wind up doing things, terrible things, without knowing it. Good, not good, because that's when they lock you up and there's no coming back because you're already locked up inside your own head. When you're tall and strong and fast and magic and the ruler of your survey. I have never gone that far, but there are moments, tiny ones, when I'm not entirely clear whether it happened or I made it up. Those moments scare me much more than getting caught. I've been caught. I know what it's. I know what. I know what that's like. I've never gone crazy. I don't want to know what that's like. Waving lies to one thing, having them wave you is another. That's why I'm writing this, to keep me from going over the edge. I don't want to be a liar anymore. I want to tell my stories true, but I haven't so far, not entirely. I've tried. I've really tried. I've tried harder than I ever have, but well, that's so much. There's so much, and it's so hard. I slipped a little, just a little. I'll make it up to you, though. From now on, it's nothing but the truth, truly. Ah, y'all. I'm gonna start right there, y'all, cause this motherfucker crazy. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with any and everybody. Let them know what your girl is doing on this channel. Okay, okay, okay. Make sure you tell a friend of a friend and all your friends. Come over here and join us. Big Nique TV, the big dog Nique in the building. Ooh. And I'll see y'all in the next freaking video. Y'all. The next video, y'all. Bye.